Hello everybody. Here is your HMH lesson for today. This is the first time we will be doing HMH, so this is the first HMH lesson. This lesson is for Tuesday, September 8th, okay? All right, let's go over some vocabulary. We're going to go over, we'll have to know. So for your vocabulary, I need you guys to get an empty notebook. This is going to be your vocabulary notebook. So you're going to have a vocabulary notebook for reading, okay? So I want you to write, I get a blank notebook, brand new notebook. I want you to write vocabulary notebook on it, and then you're going to write your vocabulary words on there every day. So our first vocabulary word is citizen. So I want you to write the word citizen inside of your notebook. Citizen. Who thinks they know what a citizen is? All right. Let's look at the little girl. What is she doing? She has her hand on her heart. Maybe she's saying the Pledge of Allegiance because there's the American flag right there, and her mouth is open like she's talking or saying something. That's a clue. So a citizen is a member of a community, state, or country. So a member of a citizen is a member of a community, state, or country. So if you're part of a community, you are a citizen of that community. So I need you guys in your vocabulary reading notebooks, I need you to write citizen, and then I need you to write next to it is a member of a community, state, or country. All right, while you're writing that down, I'm going to talk about examples. In the picture, the little girl pledges loyalty to her country's flag. She's saying, "I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America," and so on. She's pledging allegiance or loyalty to her country. Let's see. It says citizens promise to be loyal to their country. So you are promising to be loyal to your country when we say the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, so that's what a citizen is. If you need more time writing down the definition of citizen, then you can go ahead and pause this video here. Moving on, the next word is difference. Difference, that's an easy one. Who thinks they know what the word difference means? Let's look at the picture. What are the kids doing in the picture? It looks like they're picking up trash, right? And they're putting it in the bag, trash bag. How is that related to the word difference? Difference is when people make a difference. They do something that helps others. That's what they're doing in the picture. They're making a difference. They're doing something that helps others. Okay? So I'm going to look at the picture one more time. They are making a difference. How are they helping others in this picture? They're picking up trash and they're making the earth clean, right? Instead of all gross and trashy, they're picking up the trash and they are making a difference. So they do something that helps others. So in your notebook, the next word I need you to write is difference. And then you're going to write the definition, which is when people make a difference, they do something that helps others. I need you to write that down. All right, I'm going to talk about this a little bit while you continue to write. We all made a difference by working together to clean the park. That's what the picture shows. When you recycle paper or bottles, you make a difference in the world by helping keeping the earth healthy and clean in reusing recycled material instead of continuing to make new stuff. Then you are making a difference in the world. So if you're not done writing the definition of the word difference, go ahead and pause this video here. Okay, moving on. And our last word today is kind. Kind. I know you all know what kind means because you are all so kind. Let's look at this picture. What is the little boy doing here? He's holding an umbrella under an elderly woman, right? And where is she? Is she in the park? No, she is crossing the street, right? She's crossing the street and it's raining outside. I know that because they have their raincoats on and the floor looks wet, right? So in this picture here, the boy is being kind to the woman, right? So someone who is kind is nice, caring, or gentle. And that's like all of you. All of you guys are very nice and you're caring and you can be so gentle and sweet. You're so kind, right? The reason it says ADG next to that, that means adjective. Adjective. It's a word that describes a noun. But wait, what's a noun? A person, place, or thing. So an adjective is, this adjective kind is describing the person. So it's saying that the boy is kind. Why is he kind? Because he's helping the elderly woman cross the street. All right. So if you did not write down the definition of this video, I'm sorry, if you did not write the definition of the word kind, go ahead and pause the video here and make sure you write that down. Kind, someone who is kind, is nice, caring, and, or gentle. Okay, I'll give you a moment to pause the video here. All right. Moving on. Tomorrow we will start the word guard. We will do the next few words. Tomorrow we have 5 words. So we'll do those words tomorrow. All right. So now that we're done with the vocabulary, again, if you did not get that, go ahead and pause the video there. Now that we're done with vocabulary, what we're going over, our main idea, or our idea for this story is the central idea. So what is the central idea? Central idea, another word for central idea is main idea. So main idea, what the story is about, right? So the main idea is what is the story talking about, right? What is this a story about? How Jack and Jill fell down the hill? Is this a story about how the 3 little bears went on a walk? What is the story about? What is this about? So the topic, the person or thing the text is about. So a central idea and the topic, the person or thing the text is about. The central idea is the most important idea or point about the topic. So what is the most important idea or point about this topic? That's the central idea. All right. And you always need, and always when I ask you what's the central idea, I'm going to come back and ask you, well, what's your supporting evidence? What do you have to support your central idea? How do you know that's your central idea? Then you'll give me details, facts, or examples in the story that tell about the central idea. So text just means story. So you're going to give me the central idea of a story, which is what the most important idea of the story is, and then you're going to, and then I say, okay, give me supporting evidence. Give me something that supports your central idea. How do you know that's a central idea? Again, you're going to give me details, facts, or examples in the story that tell about the central idea. I'm going to back up just a minute. Facts and opinions. What are facts and what are opinions? Is a fact something that's true or something that's not true? A fact is something that's true 100% and you can always go back and prove it, right? An opinion is something that you think or how you may feel, but you can't prove it, right? So when you give me supporting evidence, you have to find facts, details, facts, or examples in the story that tell us that this is the central idea. All right. So what are we reading about? Oh, before we go on, let's talk about the author's purpose. So whenever we read a story, you're going to get a lot of these questions on Education Galaxy, by the way, and a lot of these questions will be on your tests, okay? So make sure you understand the author's purpose. Whenever I say author's purpose, I'm probably going to say pie. Why pie? Pie, persuade, inform, entertain. Okay, so author's purpose, why do authors write? Why are you writing? They have these purposes. So it's easy to remember when you say pie. So if an author writes something to persuade somebody, then the author tries to persuade the reader to agree with something. So the author is trying to persuade you, trying to convince you. How many of you guys have tried to persuade your parents to have cake for breakfast? Right? You're convincing your parents, Mom, please, 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 I really want to have cake for breakfast. I really want to have mac and cheese for breakfast. You're persuading them. So when the author is writing something to persuade somebody, they're trying to convince them. So if you're reading a story about, let's say, how to make the earth clean and how recycling is really good for the earth and how recycling helps keep the earth healthy, right? Then the author what's the author's purpose of that story? They're trying, actually they're informing you because that's a fact. Persuade is more of something that's not a fact, but they're trying to convince you that that's what's right. Okay? Inform would be better for the recycling. All right. So the author, when he writes the story or she writes the story, they're informing you. They're giving you facts. So you always know that the answer is inform if you have facts in the story. So if you see any kind of facts in the story, something that can be proven, something with a date, then you know, okay, that's definitely the author's purpose is to inform the reader, right? The author gives facts and information about a topic. And then these are probably most of our favorite stories to read are stories that entertain. The author writes the stories for readers to enjoy. So usually when you read a story that's the author's purpose is to entertain, you're reading that story because it's fun, right? Because you want to enjoy your time reading. Not because you're trying to learn anything new, not because you're trying, the author's trying to persuade you to do whatever kind of thing, right? It's to entertain. It's just purely for your entertainment. Just like the way you would watch TV, you watch TV to entertain yourself. So, all right. How can you figure out what the author's purpose is? Here are some clues. First, look at the clues about the genre. Remember, we talked about genre on our Google Meet the other day. So, genre is the topic of the story. So, is it fiction? Is it nonfiction? What is the genre? Is it historical fiction? Is it a bibliography? Is it a biography? What is this? So looking at the genre usually helps you know if it's persuade inform. For example, if you're reading a story that's nonfiction, then you know that story is to inform you. They're giving you facts, right? All right, then ask questions about what you read and find answers. So you ask questions about what you're reading. It's always, good readers are readers that always ask questions. Smart people in general, regardless of reading or not, are people that always ask questions. So whenever you read, you have to stop every few pages and ask yourself questions just to make sure that you understand what you're reading. Okay? All right, so that is the author's purpose. Moving on. What we're going to read about is, just a second, it's one of these tabs. Basically super citizens. Oh, here it is. We are super citizens. All right. So we're learning, first we talked about what a citizen is. A citizen is somebody that's loyal to, their country or their state or that place. Right. So before we watch the story, let's watch this video, Super Citizens.
It's time for Super Citizen. Our story begins on what seems like an ordinary summer day. Leon and his little sister Carly are all set to go to the city pool, when suddenly their grandmother needs help. She says they must stop at the community garden. If their plants don't get water and care today, they will die. But wait, what's that smell?
Ew!
The mysterious odor is coming from Grandma's bucket. It's garbage she's bringing for composting. She explains that mixing veggie scraps with leaves and worms turns them into compost. That's healthy food for plants. But the bucket is heavy. Leon helps his grandmother, and so does Carly. And just like that, Leon and Carly start to become super citizens. On the way to the garden, Leon finishes his water and tosses the plastic bottle into the trash. Carly moves the bottle over to the recycling bin. Every bit of recycling makes a difference. Another way to be a super citizen. Grandma's friend is setting up the charity table, where garden vegetables will be given away to people in need. Leon lends a hand. A super citizen move for sure. The kids help their grandmother mix compost, pull weeds, water all the plants, and pick tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. As they leave the garden, Leon and Carly ask if they can donate vegetables to the charity table. What a kind thing to do. She helps them choose vegetables that are nice and ripe. Leon, Carly, and Grandma are truly super citizens. And now, they're off to the pool.
What can you do to be a super citizen?
All right, so what did Leon and Carly do to be super citizens, and Grandma? What did the little boy and the little girl do to be super citizens? What they did was they helped clean up the community park, right? They were good citizens by helping clean up, picking up all the trash and recycling it and putting it where it needs to be. All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and start reading the story. We are super citizens. I assigned this to you on your HMH site. So once you log in with the credentials that I gave you guys for the HMH, you're going to go to assignments, and under assignments, you're going to have all these tabs that I have open. So I want you to open these up and read them. Again, you don't have to read them. You can just play audio.
Short read.
And it will read it out for you. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to go ahead and listen together, okay? All right.
We are super citizens. My dog Bailey is the best. When we learned about good citizens in school, my teacher asked us to think of ways we could be good citizens. I thought about Bailey. She's friendly and gentle. I just knew she could be a good therapy dog. First, I found a dog club near where I live. My mom and I took Bailey there. Bailey took a test to see how she behaved. She was calm and acted well with strangers. She listened to commands. After some training classes,
All right, so let's stop for a second. Who's Bailey? Bailey is this little dog, right? And this dog was a good citizen because they helped with the commands, right? They helped the little boy. All right, he's a therapy dog. So I'm going to go ahead and read the rest. After some training classes, we became a therapy dog team. Now my mom and I take Bailey to visit people. Bailey gives them comfort and love. I like raising a therapy dog. We are good citizens together. Bailey makes a difference in the lives of the people we visit. She helps make their lives better. So a therapy dog is a dog that helps give love and care to people, and it makes the people feel better. So here's the fast fact. Therapy dogs are not the same as service dogs. They're different. Service dogs are trained to prove a certain kind of help for a person with special needs. So a service dog is like, for example, if somebody was blind, then they would have a service dog to help them cross the street, to help them protect them from danger, just to help them with things that they do not have because they can't see. A therapy dog is a lot different. A therapy dog is a dog that helps bring people's confidence up, or it helps a person feel better because they're really sad or they may be depressed. So that's a therapy dog. That's a different kind of dog. So they're being good citizens by helping the people of their community, right? All right, awesome. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about the story real quickly. We are super citizens. Is this fiction or nonfiction? This is nonfiction because it's a real story, okay? Now let's talk about the author's purpose. What was the author's purpose of writing this? Was it to persuade us, to entertain us, or to inform us? I think the author was informing us. The author is telling us about these kinds of therapy dogs. The author is also entertaining us by, telling us about how Bailey learned how to be a therapy dog, right? It's also, and I know it's informed because there's a fact. Remember I said anything with a fact in it is going to be to inform. So it could be more than one, the author's purpose could be more than one thing. So that's that. All right, tomorrow we're going to read Clark the Shark, or we're going to get ready to read Clark the Shark. Before we end this lesson, I want to talk about how we agree and how we disagree. So if you agree with something, you usually start by saying, I think, I agree, or so do I, right? Those are how you start your sentences, or I know you guys know this, you kind of already say it, but I have to go over it. Now, disagree, if you want to disagree with something, you say, I disagree, and then you say why. Or I don't think so, and then you say why. That's to disagree, right? Okay. So let's see here. I think a clean park is a safe place to play. My friends Annie and Brian agree. So do my brother and sister. We help clean up the park in our neighborhood. We rake leaves and pick up garbage. We clean the trails. We make the park cleaner so people can enjoy it. All right, so that's agree. And then again, when you agree or disagree, you say, you know, I think, I agree, or I disagree, and then you give reasons. This boy gave 3 reasons why. All right, let's see what else. We went over our vocabulary, we read the story, we went over central idea, we went over agree and disagree, and I think that's it for today. Again, make sure you have a vocabulary. Make sure you have a vocabulary notebook that you're writing your vocabulary words in, okay? Let's see. I will wrap this up in just a second. Yep. Okay, that's it. Bye, guys. See you later.